back at it again now with the flywheel housings. This is the oil return port that we got to put into the Cummins flywheel housing here. So it's got to go in this general area here. And as you can see how that works, as the flywheel and ring gear is coming around, it takes the oil and flings it into this little catch they got going on, and then that comes up through and out the hole. I don't know how critical that is, because it comes into here and then there's a sharp edge there, so the oil got to hit that sharp edge, go back, and then up through this hole. So I can't imagine it's super that's where I'm looking for. Hydro fucking doesn't flow very good. Anyway, whatever the fuck that word is. So I basically got now do the same thing with this one. I'm not gonna be able to put as big of a lip like the other one had, because the internal dimension of this housing is a bit smaller. Fucking phone. Okay, back to whatever I was saying there before my phone cut me off. The guy who called me was actually the one who gave my buddy this. So I don't know where the fuck I left off. Anyways, yeah, I can't put as big of a lip in here as the factory one had, because this is a smaller dimension. See how much smaller that goes in there, or how much it curves in. Cummins one doesn't exactly do that. It's almost straight down, so I won't get as much of a lip, but I should get something there. I don't believe it returns a whole lot of oil. It doesn't pump oil for anything. It just returns oil from the flywheel housing, bell housing, back into the transmission pan, so you don't get fucking oil pooling up in there. It's basically all it does. It doesn't actually supply oil to anything. It doesn't pressurize anything. It doesn't do much. So I lopped this here off already. I cut that off with the reciprocating saw. It used to be for a motor mount, same as that one there, but he's not using them. That's going to be in my way for welding in here. I still might have to cut more of this off yet, but I'm going to try it like this first. To do more than that, I got to grind it off or try to get it in the mill or something. But as you can see, I need to add some meat here. So I got this, I guess that's 1 by 1, maybe 1 1/4. I'm going to weld that onto there. I might have to, like where we got this here, I might lop off a piece of this on the bottom and weld it next to it. Or I might just get some plate, aluminum plating, and more or less box it in. And I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. I'm going to kind of mock this up. I'm going to get it so it fits up against the flywheel housing. And then I'm going to mark out where it lands on the side, so I know where to cut my hole. I'm going to cut my hole, probably do most of the milling on the back side of this, come in with the milling machine and hollow it out. And basically do whatever I can do before I weld this on, because once it's welded on, it'd be a fucking nuisance to come in and try to bore it out from this side, because you can't get in here at the mill at all. They have to be done with die grinders more or less, and I'm not going at that. So once that's welded in, then I'll have to lay out this port, bore the port through, and hopefully I can just do a straight shot into the gallery that I'm going to more or less create in here. And this should be more or less it. Once it's welded in, I'm going to weld this in a little bit proud. That way I can come in and just face it off after with the milling machine to get it flat with this. And hopefully, yeah, shouldn't be too bad to do. This one here, the hole's not straight. It goes in on an angle, but that's because, like I said, it's dipped right in there. I think that mask thing is in the way. Yeah, it dips right in here, so they couldn't do a straight shot. I think I can do that. I'm going to try to anyway. And I can't have too much proud of this surface, because the ring gear just fits through this inner dimension here. So basically I can't have anything higher than what this here is. So I mean, it don't leave me much. I'm gonna have to work inwards instead of outwards. So I'll start cutting some stuff up, see what I can get laid out. I'm not gonna videotape a lot of it because it's just boring shit. I'm gonna be hacking away on aluminum, so you don't really want to see that. That's annoying. So I'll come back when I know what the hell I'm doing. Alright, I'm gonna try the GoPro on the milling machine, see if it makes a racket on this video or the sound, and if it don't, I might do it this way more often. Yep. There's a radius in there, so I'm going to have to hand grind that to fit. I don't know if you can see it, sun's kind of making a bit of glare. But yeah, bit of hand work. That should fit in there, no sweat. Alright, I got her formed in pretty good. And cleaned it up too as well. Fits alright. You see I left it proud of that surface, that way I can come back and mill it off flush after. And that's where the port's going to go. The easiest way to lay that out is I took a piece of garlock, gasket material, and just tap your bolt holes in, use a ball peen hammer, just knock your way around, that cuts it. And then same thing. Line it up, transfer everything, and your hole should be in the right place. So now I'm going to come back in here with a ball end mill slot down in this, and see how it looks then, and size up from there, and then I'll probably mill in the side here a bit, more or less open that up. And that'll open up all of here, knock the hole in the side of the bell housing, and I figure out how I'm going to duplicate that and maybe put a bit of a lip in here to kind of simulate that. If I got enough meat, I'll ramp that inwards. See now, after I get all that on, figure what I'm going to do then. Like I said, none of this is There's no blueprints for this. I haven't found nothing online of anyone doing a Cummins swap in one of these cats, so I got nothing to go by, so we're just going figuring it out as we go. So, one step at a time. WD-40. There's one. There you go. The sun's giving a lot of glare. How hot is this? Oh, not even bad. Okay, on to the next part. Just milled the side out of that. Blended it in a little bit with the die grinder, smoothing it out. So that's your weld there now. I'll punch a hole through the outside, or to the inside, and work on something to box this here in. And once that's done, time to start welding then, I guess. Fun part. And I got the center line marked because I'm going to only cut out the top side of the center line. Same thing Cat did. There's a lip here that goes in, so that when the oil goes in, it runs back to the transmission pan. I don't know how big a difference that makes, but Cat put it there, so I'm going to put it there, and that's about where they got it, is on center line with the hole. So that's the same thing I'm going to do. Center line with the hole. This down here is all going to stay. This above here is going to get ported out. So I'm going to cut that. Then I'll probably start welding this in. Yeah, maybe I'll weld that on. Get the outside mocked up. Die grind this out, or actually I can die grind that after it's welded in. I don't know, I'll see. See what I want to do after. I just cut off a chunk of, I think it's 4-inch aluminum brown stock. I laid it out. Just took the center mark finder, mark the center. Mark the height of this block. So basically all I'm going to be left with is that little triangle there, and then I can, as you can see, it's the same height as this port, so I'll mill out that shape of that port on the inside of this here, and that'll get weld onto the side of the bell housing with this. It should look half decent too. Good factory curve on it. So, cut that off now and cut that off. I don't know what I'm going to use for that, bandsaw or chop saw. Figure something out. Here we got to cut something odd shaped off in a bandsaw. Put a piece of flat bar in the backside as a sacrificial piece of steel, and loosen up your movable jaw so it just jams the flat bar and kind of wedges in whatever you're trying to cut. Because if you try to cut this without a piece of flat bar, it's just going to turn and roll out and go flying across the garage. So that works pretty good, but still keep an eye on it because it's not the most rigid setup, but it gets the job done. Alright, I'm happy. Oh, that one clear. That's no hole. There's your way. Yeah. No, I told you. Nice press one, this way. Where is it going? I'm not going that way. Okay, I know where it is. Oh, hang on. Get that hole. I'll start building. Not perfect. It doesn't have to be. Well, that going down through there. That's the center hole. Make sure I get this the right way. Yeah. I suppose you can see that. Still need to square up this hole on this edge when I figures out where this is going. I'm gonna knock the corners off of up there and over there too. Perfect. Clean that up and fix that hole and start welding then. Alright, let's knock the corners off. You can see now it fits perfect. Fix that hole, then it's time to weld. Nothing to it. Got the hole shaped in. I got a pretty heavy chamfer, so I'm hoping that's gonna catch the oil a little bit, something like that lip there did. It's not quite as aggressive as that, but fucking clamps in the way. But like I said, I can't put any raised material out here because the ring gear won't clear. It just fits down through this register here, so I mean if I put anything at all, it's going to interfere. So that's as good as that's going to get. Hopefully it works. If it don't work, then looks like we got a lot of work ahead of us. Take all this shit back out and redesign it. So I'm going to clean all this up now, tack everything up and start welding. One of the great things about living where it's fucking freezing all the time, you get to do fun stuff like this. The aluminum, when the bell housing is so cold, if I try to weld it, it's just going to suck all the heat away. And be a pain in the ass, so I got to preheat it a bit. It's here in the garage. It's about +8 Celsius. I'll tell you what the temperature of that aluminum thing is, but my fancy point and shoot thermometer digital infrared thing seems to have gone to another home. I can't find it. But in the toolbox it's 8 degrees. I'd say out here is just as cold, if not colder. So I'll let that warm up for a bit. Yeah, it's getting warmer, but still not warm enough. If it doesn't warm up fast enough with that, I'll get the old Tiger torch. template. So pour it in and should be good to go. Oh, there it is done. 3/4 inch hole or port in it. Same as that one. Welds didn't come out too bad considering this cast had a bit of shit in that corner there, but other than that it wasn't horrible. And I got the lip in there, same as what the cat did, and I got a nice bevel on this edge here, so hopefully it catches the oil and drives it out the hole. Kind of like that scoop there did. So yeah, it's not too bad. It was a lot smoother than I thought actually. I'm calling that done.